Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Made with Love. My name is Heather and today I'm going to make a few accent cushions. The other day I got this nice fabric here, so I've got it all inside out. If you saw one of my last thrift store hauls, you would see that I got this nice big piece of material here, and it's the Wizard of Oz. So it has Dorothy, the Good Witch, the Wicked Witch, Tin Man, Cowardly Lion, and what am I missing? Oh, the Scarecrow. So it just got all of them on here. And I was just figuring out how I can make it into nice cushions. So I'm gonna, I can turn this into 8 small cushions. So they'll be about 20 inches by about that 10 or 12 inches. So just an odd size, like a longer little accent pillow for like on your couch or on your bed. And in that bag there was also this just basic red material. So I'm going to use the red material for the backing of my cushions. So it's going to be very simple, basic. I've done lots of slip covers. I've usually done like the pillowcase, so I'm going to do these a little bit different where I do want to, so the front will be like one solid piece and my back will actually be 2 pieces of this overlapping, so you get that envelope kind of a thing at the back. Easy to put in and out of your pillow forms to clean. Just about threw them in the garbage. But for my pillow forms, because I figured out of that material I was gonna make 4 cushions, and they were just really big, like about almost 20 by 20. And then I thought if I fold it one more time, I'll get a skinny, longer pillow, it will give me 8 pillows. So it's quite a lot of fabric that I got for $3. But I want to make my pillow insert, and I have a few different ways. Like some is just well, one is I just buy these cheap pillows from Walmart. These are just their standard pillows. They're under $5. Sometimes they're 2 something, sometimes they're 3 something. I think this one was $4 and some odd cents with tax, so it was like just under $4.50 for this pillow. I've got more pillows in my garage. I'm going to be cutting and doing the same thing too, but I just thought I would just start with this brand new one. I'm washing the other ones right now, so my washer and dryer is going. So this is just a standard 20 by 26 inch pillow. So I'm going to fold it in half the long way, or not the long, okay, I'm going to fold it in half this way, so then I get this size of a pillow. So it's approximately 20 by 13. I'm just going to take it out of the packaging just so I kept it in the packaging so I knew this was brand new. I also like the price of these for the amount of stuffing, like the polyfill stuffing you get, is really good. I'm just gonna move my camera down. There we go, so you can see. So it's 26 by 20. I'm gonna fold it this way, so then I will get a pillow that will still be the 20 inches, but then the other side will now only be about 13. So when I find approximately where the halfway is, I'm doing it the easy way, which I'm just gonna, supposed to be the easy way. Just kind of fold it in half here. Like I said, it's approximately the halfway point. I'm just gonna do a little snip there. I'm just going to cut the pillow like in half. And then I'm just going to get my sewing machine. I'm just going to stitch the 2 halves together. So now I got that. I always do this first, and then I kind of know right where I cut, and then I just try my best just to cut through all this polyfill. There. Short. Couple, and as I just do a couple, it just starts to rip apart. I have seen people who've done this where they'll sew through this to get the 2 pillows. I find if I have to cut anyways, I'm just gonna cut and then do my stitching. I don't see the point of doing a stitch to cut and then have to restitch everything. But I don't know, so you can just do it however you want to do it. I just found that this is a little bit easier for me. Sometimes you can pull the polyfill apart that, but I do find if I cut it, I get a nicer, cleaner edge, and it just, I don't know, just, it makes it feel like I'm actually doing something. I mean, pulling the polyfill apart is kind of what I do when I'm stuffing things, but because I want to do this, and then I'm just gonna pin these together and stitch. But then you see I get the two smaller little cushions. And they're, like I said, it should be, if I measured exactly in half, they should be 20 by 13, but given my seam allowance, I usually get them to be about 20 inches by about between 11 and a half and 12 inches. I lose that little bit for like the seam allowance too. So I'm just gonna pin these and stitch. So I'll be back when I've got my sewing machine set up. I only have this small little table, so I have to do these things in small stages right now, but I will be back, excuse me, in just a few moments. All right, so I'm almost ready to sew. I was just getting my machine plugged in. I'll be turning my camera around the other way. But I was at Walmart the other day and I bought these two little things. They were, I don't know, I think this one was like about $4 and this one was about $6. So this one here is the machine needle threader and inserter. I always have trouble seeing where the thread goes through the little hole. It's just the angle, I can't see. So I thought this would be really fun to try and see if it actually works easier. Also, it has the little thing to hold the needle, which I always see when I have to change up my needle. I always get the needle stuck into my thumb when I'm trying, or my finger when I'm trying to hold it up. So I thought, well, this would be a good tool. Then my fingers probably won't get pricked with the needle as much. And I found this one too, and I'd seen a few people use these lately on some YouTube videos I was watching for quilting and stuff. And it's the magnetic seam guide. And I thought, well, that would be really good. I wasn't sure where to get them because everybody says Hobby Lobby. Well, there's no Hobby Lobby where I live. I don't know if there is one in Alberta, but I know where I live we don't have one. We do have Michael's. We did have a fabric store. They either closed out or moved location, and I have not been able to find them. But this was about $6, or maybe just a little over $6. So I will be trying this out. And not right now, I would just like to practice with this on a piece of scrap material before I actually use this on a sewing project. And my needle is fine right now, so I'm not going to be using this. I'm going to leave them in their packaging until I'm actually ready to try them. But it's just some more sewing gadgets that I'd come across, that I'd seen other people use, and then I found them really fairly inexpensive at Walmart. And of course I did see those little sewing clips, which for a project like this, like the amount of pins I had to put in here, and the pins kept sliding and popping out just because of how compressed the polyfill is in here, that those little clips would have been perfect. But again, then just the little mini clips, you get like a pack of, I think it was 40 or 50 for $17, was just not worth it to me the other day. I will take a look and see if I can find them somewhere else, or I will just wait until I do occasionally get the coupons for Michael's, and so I'll go see what Michael's sells them for, and I will usually get that 30 or 40% off coupon, but once a month or something they'll send me a coupon. I don't always use them, but you know, whenever their monthly flyers come out. So I will be on the lookout for those little clips, because they would make this so much easier than trying to put all these little straight pins in, and then they would kind of like hold the material on a project like this where I need the material to be more straight, and I'm trying to think of the word. I can't think of the word, but I need the seam to be more straight, and also I'm not bending or turning the material in. I'm just gonna do a stitch, and then I'll just cut off any excess if I need to or not. But these are just gonna be simple pillow forms. So I'm not really creating like a seam, and I'm not flipping the material inside. I tried, I just don't have enough, unless I take some of the polyfill out, and I just don't want to do that because I love the way how thick these are gonna be. So now I'm just going to turn my camera around so you can watch me sew. All right, so on my sewing machine, I'm just leaving at the zeros, the positions at the 2.5, and then the one below it just at the 0. I'm not touching anything. I just want to do a basic, simple, straight stitch. I always have trouble. Oops, there's my pressure foot, it slid. I just want to make a basic straight stitch here just to stitch this closed. So I'm not really, I'm going to be going slow, and I'm not really going to adjust it. I mean, I know I could probably do a zigzag. Last time I did a zigzag, my machine was having trouble. If I went too fast or too slow, then the stitches were just like overlapping or they'd be spaced out. So I'm just doing a basic straight stitch. I'm not touching anything on here. My tension is set to 3. It's usually where I keep it. Between 3 and 5 that's the only ones I seem to really use. Like, I like to keep it just on 3. That seems to be the, I don't know, whatever this tension does, 3 seems to be the best for when I'm doing the bit of sewing I do. I have just to 4 and to 5, depending on the material I'm using. I'm just keeping this on the 3. Oh yeah, that's just more instructions up there. I forgot what's under there. I don't touch my machine often. I haven't even watched, I got this, not this past Christmas, but the Christmas, or was it this Christmas? No, 2 Christmases ago I got this, and I haven't done any of the embroidery stitching that this machine does, like all this stuff up here. I haven't even had time to watch the instructional DVD that came with this sewing machine. I did read the instructional booklet though, so I'm just going to start stitching now. Find my pressure foot pedal just kind of slid away from me again. Here we go. This is tricky because I think it just slid. No, it's still sewing both pieces. Okay, for a second I thought it was not sewing through the 2 layers, but no, it is. I just don't like sewing anything that's like this heavy, awkward. Just gonna slide this more this way. A little bit more of the material under the pressure foot, just so I know that it's like stitching a little bit, just so I can see where it's actually stitching. Usually once I get into a rhythm, I can stitch pretty fast. It's just, oh, my foot pedal keeps sliding way up. It's just, I feel like I'm stitching backwards the way that this is all right here. As I get stitching, I can get this done. It's just the first one. Stitching the first one, if I haven't done it for a while, I kind of just have to relearn how to do a few things. And then as I get doing this, I can just get done faster and faster, just easier and easier. It's been a while since I've done cushions like this, like made slip covers, and this one just wants to keep poking me. There. This one's just sitting out, and I'm just going to take this last one out too, just because these last couple of ones just want to poke me. Okay. I do see how those little clip ones would really work. I do have the cheap clips that I bought from the dollar store. I just don't know where they are at the moment, or I would be, oops, I want to go reverse. Oops. Okay. My snipper is up here. There we go, like that. Here you go, the first one's done, and some of this extra material here above the stitching, I will just trim this off just so it's a little bit neater looking. But look at that, I've got a small little, sorry about that, I was about to sneeze. Yeah, so out of that one cushion, I will now get 2 smaller little inserts, like I said, and I'm probably just gonna double check that all my stitching is done. Something like this, I might, because this was the first one and it did go a little crooked here, if I think that this didn't stitch both pieces, I've done it before, where if I don't think it stitched through both layers, I will just put it through the machine one more time. So now I'm just gonna finish the other quite a few of these, because I need 8 of these little half pillows in total. So I'll be back in I don't know, however long it takes me to make 7 more of these. All right, so I'm standing in my dining room. I'm gonna actually bring my sewing machine into the dining room. I need a larger surface to finish the cushions. So I've got 8 little cushions here. I took 4 standard pillows, cut them in half, stitched them. Took a little longer than expected. It's been a few days since I started this project. I've been kind of busy with other things around the house, but I'm back today where I can finish making the actual slip cover. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little cushion inserts made out of 4 regular size pillows. So I said I was at Value Village and I bought this material. It was $2.99. I got the one piece. I don't know the measurements. I'm not going to unfold this to measure it. But the one piece, it's the Dorothy Wizard of Oz characters. And in there they had this other piece of this red. It feels like cheaper sheets. I don't know. I don't really know material. I don't know what it is, but it's got that scratchy sound. It actually feels like the cheaper sheets, or even just pillowcases. That's kind of what it really feels like. It feels like the cheaper pillowcases, which is perfect because I'm going to turn this into pillowcases. So when I had lined the 2 pieces up, they were the amount that I had for this one when I lined them up back to back, just straight together. So their width, or the length was the same, but the solid red was double the width. So I'm gonna make these other slip covers using 3 pieces of material. So you get the one solid piece at the front and you get the 2 pieces at the back that overlap. So you get like an envelope kind of, or a pocket kind of a thing to put the cushions in. So like a slip cover thing. I've never made one before and I'm going to attempt to do it. So I've got these ones already folded into the 8 pieces. And then this one I folded into the 8 and then one more, so it'll be 16. So I'll be using 16 of the red and 8 of the Wizard of Oz ones. So just very simple. When I have my material, I just fold it as best I can. I'm not the best person folding, measuring, anything like that. I just do it the basic. Then I'm just going to cut along the folded seams. If I can get my scissors in here to cut. Usually I just got to make the first cut. My scissors just don't want to cut through all this. Don't want to cut my tablecloth. I may have to run and grab my other scissors from my craft room. These just don't want to cut. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get my other scissors. I can't even cut through. And I've got it about 2/3 of the one cut, and I gotta do this one and this one. So I will be right back. Okay, I don't know where my other scissors are. I went down there and all I found was the little precision scissors, and I've got my kitchen scissors. So I'm gonna try the kitchen scissors. I don't want to have to use the precision scissors, but if I have to, I will. Yeah, these just don't want to cut either. These are like brand new scissors. I don't know. Try the precision scissors and see. I'm gonna say I've never had this problem where I can't seem to cut through material. I don't know. Maybe it's just the thickness of the material, but I shouldn't have that much trouble cutting through. I guess it's just gonna be one of those days where it's gonna be tricky to cut today because I want to get this done, and I just can't seem to find my other scissors. I don't know where everything is. Everything is just not where it's supposed to be. There. I can kind of cut through this. It's not as thick. It's gonna be kind of choppy cuts, but that's okay. I do have a rotary cutter. I don't know where my rotary cutter is. Oh, no wonder it was so easy. I only did half of it. Okay. Now, even doing the one piece, it's not really cutting the way it should. Okay. It's going to take a while for me to cut these pieces out, so I'm just going to do the best I can, as fast as I can. Just kind of holding these still so I kind of get even pieces. Like I said, these ones are going to be the ones where they are doubled up the back. So if it's one's a little bit longer than the other, I don't think it's going to matter that much. So I'm just going to keep cutting these pieces out, and then I'll be right back. Yeah, see, doing half of them at a time, that makes such a big difference. So I'm going to have to go a lot slower, and then this material here is a lot thicker, so I'm going to have to go a lot slower because my scissors are just not working today. But when I get all the pieces cut and laid out, then I will be right back. Oh, sorry about my hand. I'm just using my right hand to turn on and realizing my right hand blocks the camera. So I've got all my material here cut, and I've got them lined up, so the Dorothy and the two red all the way through. I want to make sure I had all my pieces cut out. And then I was just trying to remember how to, I kind of remember, but it's been a while since I've made anything similar to like these type of pocket things. The last thing I made similar to this would have been when I made my Bible cover, which I didn't film myself doing this one, but I do have the pieces cut out to make another one, and I will film myself making a smaller Bible cover for my other Bible, as well as another one of these little pencil cases from the leftover material. So you can have a little pencil case with your Bible. So for how I did this is, I do know that the Dorothy is just a little bit wider than the red one, and maybe it's just the way I kind of cut them out. I didn't, like I said, I don't know the exact measurements. I took the strip of material and I folded into how many pieces I needed. So when I go to stitch this, I'm going to pin it to the corners meeting the corners, and then I will kind of get like an envelope kind of a pocket thing happening where I'll have like the back will be a little bit tighter, and then the front will have a little bit of a looser give to it. And then so I have the material set up right sides up. So I'm just going to show this one, and then I will just go and pin all the rest today and get ready to sew, and then you can see what I mean. But so I've got the right side up, so I've got the right sides facing each other. Now on this red one, I don't think I can tell which is the right side, which is the wrong side. They look the same to me. One side, on some of the material, one side does look a little bit brighter. So the side that looks a little bit brighter is what I'm going to use as my top. or my right side. So I put the first one down, I just have it lined up kind of with the top part up here, just down, and then I'm folding it up about 1/3. So I'll get this pocket happening here, and I'll show you how this will help. Because I will do my Bible cover the same way how I made my little things for my Bible cover. Same thing here. I lay it down, right sides together. Now I will go and also I'm going to go and press this red material. I didn't realize that even going through the quick steam cycle in the dryer, it didn't get rid of all the creases. So I do want the creases gone before I do this too. And then again, just put right sides together, and then you fold it in that 1/3. Then the two pocket kind of end pieces. So then where you're putting your material in, you'll get a nice straight edge, and it's a little bit more durable than if you just had the single one where the flap is. But the two flaps actually will line up about 1/3 over top of each other. You can do it more or less, but I think 1/3 is a good amount. And then I will just show this, it's just my Bible cover. I said, oops, I've got it all kind of on here, kind of folded wrong. I made it with this little pouch, and then so I could have my notebook. Oops, I'm not being in the view. I made it so I have a little notebook thing here, and then it wraps around, because I was trying to do a full cover, and then I was going to do a little button here with a little enclosure, and I never got that far. But I will just take my Bible out, and I'll take this out, and then because it is double-sided, and I'll show you the pocket thing. So it's been stitched together, but it is double-sided, and so and reversible. So you will see I did kind of mess up on some of my stitching. I didn't quite stitch through all the layers, which is okay because I never did my final top stitching on these. I kind of ran out of this one. I kind of ran out of time, but. And it's the same thing as I'm making for those. Then right where your folded stuff is, where your pocket part would be, or where like this one is where the Bible cover flaps go in, or where you're using to open up to put the pillow in, it's doubled instead of being single. So you get that extra layer of protection, or extra layer where it's just, I don't know, where the seam is, you get a thicker seam. And I think it just reinforces it a little bit better. But see, so I get this. Bible cover is double-sided. Just kind of Bibling here, and then I kind of get this, or I guess like this. I was trying to make one, and then I realized I messed up a step on this one. I was supposed to have an elastic stitched around here so I can slip this in and have a pocket, and I forgot that part when I was doing this one. And then I also never got to doing the button, but that was the little Bible cover. So I will be making another Bible cover. So, but it's the same thing, and I'll show as I get to do that one, you'll understand better. But I'm just going to go and press all my my red material. I think the Wizard of Oz, all the creases in that one came out, which was good. But the red one, all the creases are still there. I also just bring out my sewing machine and then switch out the thread for red. So back in just shortly. Okay, welcome back. I'm making these slip covers. So I already got one I have stitched. I kind of messed up, but I will show you what I had to do first. I'm just gonna unpin this one quickly because I pinned them all. I thought I had saved one that I didn't pin, but yes. Okay, so on these pieces here, this will be the back of the slip covers. I ironed it out a little bit better, and I made a nice crease here, and then I just did a straight stitch for where this open flap would be. So I just folded into thirds, or just the one into third, and I just did one straight stitch on all of these solid pieces, and then I'm going to pin them together, right sides together. Now this is where I messed up doing this one here. I wanted to do one quickly just to make sure. So you want right sides together, and you want to make sure that your folded edge is in the center. And then you've got your nice straight edge where you've stitched, and then just pinning these together, just lining up the material. I'm just doing a few little pins just in the corners. And then this one too, just to make sure you've got right sides together. Just pinning that. And then because it's a lot of bulk here in the middle part where you end up having like 5 layers of the material, I just kind of put a little pin on each of these ones too, just so it would help hold it while I was stitching. I do find that kind of helps me, that I kind of keep things all together. And that's how you want to have it pinned. So you've got your nice creased edge is in the center. Now, if you don't put the nice creased edge in the center, and if you pin and stitch with the creased edge lining up with, on the outside, then what you'll end up with is when you fold your stuff, you'll end up with the unfinished edge on the outside of the pillowcase. I just flipped it the wrong way. So when you fold this the right way, you'll end up with this unfinished edge on the outside, which is what I did this first one I did. So I'm just gonna put this under my sewing machine, and I'm just gonna do a nice straight stitch on the one, and then I also had this one spot here where when I had lined all these up, I guess the one, because it is like 5 layers of material, this one here, I thought it had gone through, but you can see that it was such a rough edge and all these little threads were coming through. So this piece here, actually, when I flipped it through, actually kind of came through the pillowcase. It does happen if you're too, if you don't get, I don't know, sewing your seams together, make sure you get all layers of material tucked under the machine so they all get stitched in. This one didn't get stitched in, so I'm just gonna tuck this in, and I'm just gonna do a quick little top stitch, just a small, like an inch or whatever, top stitch just to hold this down. It's not gonna affect the rest of the cushion, but that is what the slip covers will look like. So I am just going to go and set my machine, just gotta move it over here, get it set back up, and I'm just gonna show you how easy it is, which is 4 basic stitches, and you will have the slip cover completed. So I'll just be back in just a minute. Right, so I'm just going to do a straight stitch. I'm kind of watching where the bulk of my stuff is, so I'm going to start with the long side first. Just get this extra pin out of my way. I'm just kind of doing on a basic, turn my machine on, just a basic straight stitch. I'm going to turn my speed down just a little bit. And I just want to go a little slower because this is where I find where the bulk of the material is. So make sure everything is nice and flat, and I'm actually going to be stitching. I see my material is kind of doing something funny there, kind of bunching up. I just want to make sure that all the layers are getting under here. Just have to lift that for a second. Just really want to make sure that I'm getting all my layers under here. So I'm learning how to sew. I'm teaching myself how to do things. So even when I'm doing straight stitching, my stitches are not going to be perfectly straight. I do miss things. So I do miss making sure all the material are under, especially on spots like that where it's all layered. So I'm just gonna, oops, my ring is falling off. Okay, I'm just gonna And then when I come right to where the corner is, or right where I want my seam to be, I leave the needle straight down and lifting the pressure, the little foot up, just rotating the material and then putting it back down. That's something I just discovered about a month ago, and I've been finding it's really helping a lot of my sewing. I'm not doing a lot of stopping and starting in too many like back stitching kind of spots. And this is just a nice small edge, just the 2 pieces of material. And the same thing, just lift that up, rotate the material. Oops, I got this extra little piece of material here. Just gonna, oh, it wasn't even, just caught from somewhere. Wasn't even, excuse me, wasn't even actually stuck to this. I don't know where this piece came from. I've got loose bits of material all over the floor at the moment, so just found it somehow. And this last long straight edge. This is where I was having trouble with my other ones. It's right where all the material has to go under the foot. Just gonna go a little slower here. Just gonna make sure it's all getting under. Okay, my camera just stopped. I'm just putting the cushion into the slip cover. I think I was doing it backwards, that's okay. Sometimes getting the slip covers in is tricky. There we go. It's not in perfectly because I've got some extra bulk material I have to work on, but to straighten this out, I gotta snip some of the loose threads that are here. But I've got this one done. So I'm just gonna continue with the rest of the, I guess I got 6 more to sew. So I'll be back when I get all 8 finished and with the pillows in so you can see the final product. All right, so here is the final product. I've got all of them. Got the other 7, already got the little cushions inside. Now, these are the cushions that I cut in half and just stitched, so they're kind of bunchy. So they're not all the exact same size. And with all the stitching I did on these and hemming, they're not all the same size. But I will just show you how. Let's see. I'm not very good at doing these type of cushions. I only have 2 these type of shams in my entire house. I don't like these. But I thought that this would be just an easy sewing project that I can learn, you know, more straight stitching on, and just learn how to, you know, make, you know, cut material, make my own kind of a pattern kind of a thing. So just trying to get this in here. So you do the first half and it's trying to get the other half in here. This is where I always mess up trying to get these cushions in these little shams. I will figure this out. This would be the 8th one of these I've done, and every one I have done differently, thinking, oh, I know how I can do it easy, but just not working. Actually, the last couple were a lot easier than this one. I'm having trouble just getting this cushion just to get in here. Okay, there. Once I got it in, I just have to pull out the corners. Pull the corners, just kind of twist it, and just kind of fluff it and shake it around. Like I said, these are these decorative cushions. Once the pillow is inside, these will not be coming apart that often. Just gotta get all my seams kind of going the same direction here. I'm trying to make the top of the cushion or the bottom, whatever part that happens to be there. Like that. It just needs a little more fluffing, but I've got the pillow now in its case. I just gotta, it's too bunched up here. I've got a lot of extra room down here. So I'm just going to fix this one a little more, grab the other ones, and I will show you what they all look like. All right, so here they all are. I've got them just lined up on this couch. So I'm gonna have to take some time and, with each one, it's probably gonna take me like 5 minutes to fluff and straighten all these out, but that's okay. Just, like I said, once I get the pillows in here in the right spot, they're not gonna be coming out for quite a while. So it's, it's supposed to be just a very quick and easy sewing project, and I found it fairly easy to do. Just, how to make my own little cushion covers. So this only cost me like $3 for the material from Value Village. The 4 cushions I had sitting around the house, they were just extra ones that I was actually going to just get rid of. So by cutting them in half, I get 8 nice little decorative cushions. And I'll see if any of my kids want any, and they can each get one, and then I don't know, see if I'll have a couple. But I guess that is done. Okay, again, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who's subscribing to my channels and watching my videos, and I'll see you in the next ones. Bye.